Camera, it's like, oh, we're live.
Yeah. We're live. Nita,
Yo.
you know what I had to do today?
What?
I had to put on pants, man. What is that? Like, it's actually cold enough to put pants on now?
So no gam shots today?
Oh, my goodness. It's like, I actually was cold in the office. That's not fair. It's like, shorts are so much easier to wear. This sucks, man.
Oh my god. You ready for this?
Sucks, people. No, I am not ready for this.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Wait, I will tell these people, good morning. It is September 30th, 2022, and you are watching the Ragin 2 The Vlogs. I don't even know what that means anymore, because it's really not vlogs anymore.
What are we? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we need something for the new year, huh?
Probably. We need to go find the old man on the mountain to tell us.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go on a spiritual journey and let the people watch an intro.
There you go.
When your timeline reaches its Armageddon, what's a kid to do?
I'm not a...
Snag the keys to your mom's experimental ship, of course.
That's not quite how it happened.
Drift aimlessly in the rift between dimensions, trying to figure out how to operate it.
Now hold on a sec.
Pick up a few hitchhikers.
Hi!
Hello.
And maybe solve a disturbing mystery that could lead to the destruction of reality itself.
If this time... There's always time.
I'm not so sure about that.
Get in on the adventure with the Rift Riders on Indiegogo.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at? A Catch the Craze podcast. What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the Craze! Making moves on your own. Catch the Craze! On your grind in the streets. Catch the Craze! Join the movement. Catch the Craze!
What?
Good morning, Daphne.
Good morning. Oh my God. It's you know what? It's like I've never. I can't believe it's what is it? It's the 30th. Did you say it was the 30th?
Yeah, it's the 30th. That means tomorrow's the 1st.
Oh, I mean, it's like it's like really October 1st. I mean, really, where did everything go? Oh my goodness. Oh, by the way, really quick, in reference to the Rift Riders promo that we just did for Rift Riders, Luke Stone's Rift Riders on Indiegogo, I just want everybody to know that I actually have a print on the campaign. Actually, it's this print right here. I have this print on the Rift Riders campaign that is available on Glow in the Dark Metal. So if you want to support the campaign and pick up something from me, that's cool. This is so what is it? I think they have 3 more days left on Indiegogo. So don't forget to pick up your Glow in the Dark Metal print while you're at it. I still really like the way this piece came out. I'm very happy with it. So yeah, Glow in the Dark, everybody.
Fancy.
Yeah. So hello everyone. Good morning. It's like, look, it's like we're almost on October, but it's still September. while
barely
for the next 24 and 20-ish hours or something. So hello everyone, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the furry animal fantasy adventure Tall Tales and my medieval fantasy soap opera drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. Again, I just want to thank everybody who helped supported the campaign. And I just got the first batch of rewards in yesterday. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We can talk a little bit more about that later. So you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com, and eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can also check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube on my channel at Daphne Lage, LAGE Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we go live with something. We're always going live with something every day on this channel. So to tell you more about it here is our lovely you're not a co-host, our lovely producer, queen, it's like a rap goddess.
Whatever. No, I'm just Nita, and I've decided to spend money and buy a company that I named Ragin 2 Promotions, and it just happens to be the parent company of Indie Comics Network on YouTube and Indie Comics Promotions on Facebook. Yeah, and that's where I'm at this morning. Just Nita. I'm cool with that.
So any housekeeping before we get started here?
I'll do this. You want me to do the speedy version? Snowpaw issue 2 is available on Kickstarter. This is Rob Moltari's continuing adventure from everyone's favorite Nightwolf character, Snowpaw, issue 2. Check it out.
Yeah, it's almost at $10,000 right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's third day.
And then we've got Doran Corcoran has The Forsaken Future on Kickstarter. He has just a couple days left. This is a fantastic looking science fiction fantasy book, guys. Really check it out. Let's see. Oh,
and also congratulations to JD Rosario, who launched his campaign for Vicky Sticks.
I gotta get a card for him.
Yeah, on Kickstarter last night, and he was able to survive the experience with his championship shots that he kept taking throughout the show. So there you go. Gosh. Congratulations to JD Rosario. Yes, I think he has 32 days to go on his campaign. But we're gonna have him on sometime
the 24th.
24th. So there we go. So we can talk more about that with him.
And then let's see. We got this coming up starting Thursday, October 6th. Sean Fornery and Rodney Fike, Thursday Night Throwdown, draw stream with interviews, talk, whatever. And it's going to be awesome. And then, hey, coupon code Ragin10 for your Gemini mailers so your shit doesn't get damaged. Use them, folks.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
problems, comments, praises, whatever, send that shit
complaints.
There. RaginABC@gmail.com.
Right. Yeah. So
we'll care or we won't.
Right. We most likely will. We like the questions that everybody brings in.
Oh,
so
nice
really
to
quick.
Everyone.
Well, hey. Yeah. So by the way, speaking of everyone, who's in the chat today?
Let's see. Back over there. So far we got Carl Witzman, Jody McPhee, and Mr. Don Celestri.
Oh, hello, and yes, and I see you. Five anonymous.
Six
anonymous watchers from regions beyond. Thank you for so much for joining us today. So also really quick, I just wanted to show these off. So like I said, I'm just beginning to get my rewards for the Eagle Raven campaign. So these are what I got in so far. So this is the paper bookmark that everyone's going to be getting, all the physical backers. So here is the promo postcard that I put in everybody's orders as well, which also has information for the next campaign on the back. And here is the first of the 4x6 art cards, which is printed on a heavier stock So you can actually feel the difference between the promo card and this one. So it's a nice sturdier stock. So here is the dance lesson, and here is the obsession print. So so it's just very exciting to get those in. I'm also proofing a lot of fun stuff that probably is that they're going to make their debut on the next campaign, and I'm looking forward to share. But I'm not going to say what it is yet. I want to be able to get them and show it off to everybody. So so today today is going to be a special episode. We are going to be quasi closing out the Oswald Chronicles, which is in its last literal couple of hours. I think it closes at 12 something today. So link is going to be in the show notes. So we have JD Calderon going to be joining us as soon as he's obviously he's off doing something. So when he comes back into the green room, we'll bring him in. But yeah, so it's been like I don't know, it's like just a lot of campaigns going on. So any campaigns that we show that we show a bump of, or we talk about,
will be in our group all over the place. They'll be in the chat, the group, sometimes the show notes, not always, because the show notes are getting harder and harder and harder to stay on top of, but they can always be found in any comics promotions on Facebook. So if you're not a member of the group, feel free to join, not only to see and share the ones we're talking about, but post your own as well.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So so feel free. So if you have a campaign, please feel free to utilize the resources that we give to you so that you can get we can help you get the word out on your campaign as well. So like I said, we're just waiting for JD to come back.
And also, if you post in that group, you're more likely to get shared out or a mention on the show, because that'll draw my attention to you, which gets you in the curated list, or has the potential to put you on the curated list. Not everybody makes it, so don't come at me, bro.
Right? Yeah, it's like it's a little rant. It's like, well, there is a curated list too. But the thing is, though, we have our group is really good at sharing out campaigns.
Very good.
So if we can at least tell you that people will see it.
Yes, it is definitely an active group. I'm very proud of our group members.
Yeah. So just really quick, like I said, we're just waiting for JD to come back into the green room before we, I guess start talking about Oswald or whatnot, because there's also a couple of things too campaign wise that I want to talk to him as well, that I'm sure that all of you will find interesting. But the thing is, though, it's like, so tomorrow I will be this is the thing that kind of has me a little concerned. So when I first made my schedule for this year, this kind of made my schedule made a little bit more sense when I made the schedule. But now that I'm on top of it and actually about to see what it looks like in real time, I'm not so sure anymore. But the thing is, though, I'm committed. So whatever happens, this is it. This is going to be another learning experience. Every campaign is a learning experience, and that's all I can chalk this up to. So tomorrow I will be launching the pre-launch page to Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, issue 5. Now I know the body's not even cold on the trade paperback campaign. And like I said, when I was doing this schedule, I go, November 7th seems far enough away that I could I could, it's like, okay, so it seems like it's far enough away that like I can probably hopefully get most of the rewards out, if not all of them out, and then the campaign for issue 5 starts. But it's going to be also right before the Christmas season, so I'm kind of playing it tight. But now it's like I'm kind of like, Nita, did I overestimate, underestimate? Is it,
I think because you are liked and because it's not all the time, I think that you're gonna get away. I think you're gonna get away with it, Lage.
Really?
I think you're gonna pull it off. Yeah, I do. I do.
Because I can't help but be a little nervous about that. Because, like I said, it's like I'm going to be running. Yeah, I know. Yes, HR, yes,
And PR.
Yeah, HR and PR. Yes, I think I know better than to stick my hand in the PR's cage, but yeah.
Wow, Daphne.
Well, look, he doesn't have.
Look, she didn't try to bite me though. She wasn't. She was trying to gnaw the thing, but I stuck my finger. This is what you don't stick your fingers in holes. You don't check.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Because I like stuck my finger there to try to stop her, and she was like, I mean, the second my finger hit, she had chomped down already, and I screamed, and then she started squealing. She ran off squealing because I screamed.
No.
I was like, oh no! So I'm bleeding, trying to comfort her ass.
So at least she felt bad about that. She
did.
Wasn't supposed to do that. Okay,
yeah,
no, this little asshole here will go out of his way to bite you. You should see the way he tries to trick JD into putting his fingers in the cage. That's what he does. He tries to seduce you to putting your fingers in the cage, and then it's like, I'm cleaning my wing, and it's like, yeah, it's like, so he does it on purpose. At least HR obviously felt Oh, okay.
Yeah. See, I didn't even consider that. Yeah, you got to have your people that want your floppies.
Right.
Though.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is going to be for the floppy. Although the trade's going to be available on it as an add-on. The individual issues from issues 1 through 4 is going to be available as an as add-on. I think and as levels too. Because in the end, it's like, you know what? Yeah, this makes sense. The people who collect the floppies and the people who collect the trades really are two different people. So
right.
I might as well keep them both happy. There's no reason for me to try in a misguided sense of trying to keep everything efficient for myself. I don't want to end up alienating people who would be interested in the book. So there we go. So we're going to have like I said, my concern, and you see, and this is the thing too, because it is also so close to the other campaign. We're going to be throwing even more stuff at this campaign. So if you thought I was being
all the spaghettis,
it's like
the
if you
garlic bread, the babies, we don't care. We're throwing it on
the trade paperback campaign. I'm going to be mad extra on this issue 5 campaign. So I guess you know what, we're going to all learn together whether my timing was good or not. So like I said, tomorrow I will be launching the launch page to Eagle Raven Air the First Unicorn issue 5. So keep an eye out for that. But the actual campaign doesn't launch until November 7th. So again, thank you everybody for supporting the campaign and talking about supporting the campaign, because we never get enough of this. Bring him in, Nita.
Oswald is the greatest sorcerer of our time. He lives in New York City, and he happens to be a mouse. And he has serious evil goblin problems. In this 4-issue epic adventure, Oswald finds himself rescuing a traveling warrior gnome, Daphne, who seeks revenge on an evil goblin who murdered his family. A goblin that now lives with one of Oswald's neighbors, a giant spider. What will Oswald and his newfound friend, Daphne, do? Find out in the pages of It Broke Free and Couldn't Read, now on Kickstarter.
There we go.
Hey. That was scary.
Why?
I just
what
popped up. Oof.
Right, yeah, I know, right? It's like, because you never know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need a comfort transition?
Well, I thought that was it.
Oh, look. Oh, now we have, guess who's here, Daphne?
Oh, ooh, there we go.
There you go. Thank you.
Right.
Sorry I'm a little late, but this is the 3rd podcast in 2 days, and I've been late to all of them.
Right, well, it's like, no, you see, this is the thing, though. JD is never late. He shows up exactly when he's supposed to.
Oh my God, he's Gandalf.
There you go. Just need some fireworks and I'll be set.
Exactly. Well, it's like hopefully we're building up to fireworks with these.
Building up to fireworks.
So here we are at the last 2. Was it 2 hours?
70 minutes.
So 70 minutes of the campaign, just a little over an hour and a half Is my math right? Probably not. But you know what? Who cares?
Hour 10 minutes. There you go.
There you go. Okay. There you go. Somebody has to do the math in this place.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like, oh. I don't think he needs that dramatic of an entrance.
Oh shit!
No.
I said that too. I did.
Right.
I told Daphne the other day behind the scenes. I was like, "Yeah, it's the Godfather."
Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Please do not spread those rumors.
Right.
Yeah. I have a hard enough time.
It's the hands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Is
like.
that what it is?
It's the.
You come to me on the day of my Kickstarter. Yeah. So let's talk really quick about your Kickstarter. Although, fortunate for you, your commercial is very succinct as to what it's about. But why don't you give us like a quick rundown on the camp? Just really quick.
Just on the video.
Right. Yeah, I know.
No, I mean, okay. So the basic rundown is Oswald is a he's a young mouse living his life in New York City, and he's destined to become the greatest sorcerer of our time. And he's the only mouse who can speak or read or think. And he lives his life with a bunch of fairies, gnomes, dwarves, and he comes across all these crazy adventures. He finds this one gnome who's half dead, almost on his doorstep, and he helps the guy out. And his name is Daphne. He's a warrior, and he's after this ancient evil who basically murdered his family in a very brutal fashion. We get to see that in all its glory in this third issue. And what's funny is I didn't promote this campaign this way. I probably should have. This campaign is probably the horror four-issue limit. Like this particular section of it is like the horror section of this story. Because there was a point in time when I wanted to cover basically all of the different genres in the Oswald Chronicles. I wanted to do a science fiction one, which I eventually got to do. It's a story called My Friend Rylex. And this one would probably be horror because, I mean, there's a serious horror element to it. So this is the one you probably don't want to hand to the 5-year-old.
Right, because I was about to say, because it's like you do see, I guess, that particular scene in all its glory, and it's like, you know what? It's like if you kind of think this is like kind of like a children's book, it's kind of not.
No, this one would be PG-13.
Right.
I wouldn't say R. If it wasn't R, it'd be a very light one.
I don't know. It's like, so this is the thing with the Oswald Chronicles, because it's like, well, one, it's like you're trying to get to 3,500 and you're at 32. So thank you everybody for supporting the campaign so far. So, I mean, it could be possible that you'll be able to get, 35, hopefully in the next hour or so.
Listen, as close as we can get.
Right. Exactly. So, so now here's the thing with the Oswald Chronicles. For as many campaigns that you've run, and the thing is, though, it's like it's very, it's like superficially, it looks like it should be. Oh, this is an all ages thing, and yada yada about a mouse and this, that, and the other thing. But once you really start getting into it, that's not the case at all, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, it's about a character who's finding his destiny, right? And then you have all sorts of different forces fighting against him, right? They're either fighting against him, for him, with him. It goes in all kinds of different directions. And then there are people that just want their own things for their own reasons, right? And then he stumbles across other folks who just have their own stories. Daphne just happens to be one of those people. He wanders into Oswald's life, as we sometimes bump into people right on the street, and you're just like, this person has their own story, right? It's not your story, and their story could be very compelling, and that's what this is he runs across this adventurer who's having an adventure, right? And he joins in and he tries to help him out however he can, and that's where the story lies, and we get to hear Dauphin's tale. And originally this is what Oswald was supposed to be. He was supposed to be a guy who living on the mall, telling stories, telling other people's stories, not just his own. It's just you know, the little guy was you know, he ended up becoming front and center. You know, I don't know how that happened, but you know, he just like said.
Well, yeah, because he originally was supposed to be kind of like a crypt keeper type of character,
Right.
and then he just turned into his own character. He was supposed to be a host, and
Right.
just turned into his own character instead.
Right.
So the thing is, though, is that for especially in, I guess, like a marketplace that is very, very dedicated to specificity, you know, how do you market a book that's kind of all over the place like that?
Now, can you marketing? What does that mean again?
Well, it's like, how do you, you know, how do you even try to sell a book that's kind of all over, that defies genres in a marketplace that actually really wants you to fit in very particular checklists?
Right. I mean, the easiest way is he's a magical mouse that lives in New York City. That's the easiest one, right? That's just it. He's cute. He's furry. You know, he casts spells. You know, he'll rip your face off if he has to. But you know, that it's pretty much the cute mouse in New York City. You know, but that I think is the easiest way to sell it. But the thing is people have to understand that. I mean, that's not what it's all about. You're gonna have other characters that come in and they're a little bit more scary. And Oswald is not necessarily what he seems to be, right? So you know, you say he's a mouse, but okay, he's a mouse right now. Maybe sometime in the future he'll be something else.
Yeah, but the thing, and the thing is, though, it's like, do you get a lot of pushback, or it's like, do you feel a lot of resistance in these changes? Like, so you've done all these campaigns, and you know, and like I always say, every time we do a campaign, it's like a whole new learning experience. It's like doing one for the first time. Maybe like the base level is exactly the same every time we start, but the results, how we get to certain results, is completely different. So have you? So what's your experience looking at all your campaigns to now? And you know, like, what are you learning? What are you learning from that?
I'm pretty sure if you know, someone in the medical profession would look at it, you know, a psychologist, they would he's insane, is what he would say. You know, this guy's crazy, right? Because I didn't start the story in the beginning, right? I started it somewhere in the middle, right? So that's the part where it's like the people who were getting the stuff when I was first starting, these are stories that are somewhere in the center, right? And originally, Oswald Chronicles was supposed to be short stories in prose and self-contained. And if you were to read one, you didn't need to read anymore because that story was self-contained. Okay, so when I got it into comic books is its own thing. It's very different, right? So I have issues, and you have different story arcs. Like this 4-issue limited series, you can read it. It's self-contained within these 4 issues, right? You have My First Day, which is a one shot. It's 1 issue. It's self-contained. You have issues 1 through 8, which contains My First Day and Passing Queens and Making Homes. Those 8 issues, that's one story, or at least issue 1 flows, like My First Day flows into that other story. So it's like one whole thing, and that's it. The Park Avenue Mall War is like one story, so on and so forth, and that's originally how I had done it. But like I said, with when I first started, you know, it was all over the place, and people have asked me for timelines. I do have a timeline, and I have to post it one day in one of the books, and so people can see what order to read the stories. So yeah, so I mean, I don't know. That's a long, convoluted answer. I don't know if it answered anything.
Right.
Or they could just start reading your trades.
Right, and that's the other thing. Here's the thing. My First Day and Passing Queens, that's one story. Then the story that the first issue is already out. That's it was a few inches taller, which will be in the next campaign. That's the next story that goes right behind that. Then behind that one goes We Were Just Passing Through, right? And then behind that goes another story, which I'm probably never going to do, is a prose story, which will probably never see the light of day as a comic. It's just a short, and I just don't think it's worth it for me to put in it, but it is available as a prose story. And then comes What did I do? No, it's so far.
Is there a list on your wall?
I got a list. I got a list of these things. I mean,
look at it.
So I guess it's like now the thing is though, it's like since the stories I guess it'll be easier to follow once the trades come out. Do you think that that's a detriment to the individual issues until the trades come out?
No, because there was a pattern, and now I'm actually releasing them in that pattern. So at least very close to it. Like when I released My Time with Clive, that was like way off in the center somewhere, right? And then I released Fallen Gods, and that was also way off in the center somewhere. And I released a couple other stories. So, and, those are somewhere in the middle. And I mean, now I'm starting to release them a little bit more in order. And like I said, I have to start putting out the list. I have to work with Daphne. Making out a nice graphic, yes, for it. So we can at least show everybody, okay, these are the orders that these things go in. So.
Right, yeah.
Because I got a simple file.
Right. Well, yeah, and and then to make it like a graphic thing that everyone can follow. Yeah. Yeah. So the thing. Okay. So here's the thing. So you're the king of the scattershot campaigns, right? Right. So,
I don't know what you're talking about.
So here I was before, like angsting over. I might, like probably having a campaign that's a little bit too close to a previous one. And,
no such a thing.
Right. So here's the thing. It's like, so, you're running all these campaigns and, you just have like a trigger finger with them. It's like whenever you want to launch a campaign, you just launch it. Like, but the thing is, though, do you have a rhyme or reason as to how you run these campaigns? Like, it's like, well, it shouldn't be this, it shouldn't be that, or it's like, maybe it's too close or too far. It's like when you're thinking about your campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's your thought process other than just pressing the button?
Well, I mean, the thing is my thought process is always one, I have a lot of content that's already ready. Okay, that's one. The second one is that if I want to make more content, which is where I get my pleasure from, I have to feed my artists, right? And I feed them with cash. The only way to generate that revenue is by putting out another campaign. So that's the only way I can keep the bees fed, and they keep coming back and they keep bringing me pages. I give them cash, they give me pages. So it works out. But in truth, it's just that, I mean, I've told you, I'm pretty sure Nita knows this. I have enough material to do 13 or 14 campaigns in a row. Right. Just one after the other. I could crank it every month. And the thing is, though, and by the time I got to the end of it, I probably have enough material to do another 13 or 14, behind that. So I'm constantly generating material, right? So I have to constantly do these to get these out. And the thing is this campaign is doing okay. Listen, I don't think anybody does a campaign and says, oh yeah, I couldn't do more. Not even Brian Polito. Brian Polito's probably out there. If I could make another $2 million, hey, right? So, and that's everywhere. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You can make $40,000. I could have made an extra 20, 30, whatever.
Yeah, because it's like, even with my last campaign, I was expecting to make 3. I was never thinking I was going to make 8. And like an asshole at the end of it, I was like going, if I hadn't been gone for vacation, I would have made 10. Like I wasn't even considering making 8 at that moment. Right. And already I'm thinking like, well, I could have made 10. It's like,
yeah, but that's just natural. I mean, that's just we're trying out there. We're out there trying to push, right? So the more revenue I make, the more content I make. Currently, I'm working with 2 artists regularly. I want to make it 3, right? So I want to make it 3. I'd love to have 4. I have piles of stories to tell. I mean, like I said, I haven't done an official. I got to sit down and do an official count. I think I'm somewhere 16, maybe 1,700 pages in to the story, right?
Now, is that counting? Is that just printed material, or that's counting everything so far that you've got?
Probably everything I have so far, right? 17. It could be as high as 1,800. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't done an official count. the stories will range anywhere. I have 24-page stories, but I also have 198-page stories, right? So it's all over the place in between this. Like I think this particular story is either 120 or 110 pages, right? If I was a few inches taller, 63 pages. I have another one running. It's probably going to be another 64 pages. That's by the same artist, Arenio. So yeah, I mean it's all over the place as far as numbers, because I let the stories tell themselves. I don't allow them, and I don't have to do what Marvel and DC does. I don't have to hit a 20-page increment every month for each thing. I just let it breathe.
Right. Now the thing is though, is that because you have so much content, are you, especially with the way you put out, like you put out a campaign, like I said, the second one, like it like if you could put out a campaign a month, you would.
Yes.
You know? Now, right, yeah, exactly. So do you worry about kind of flooding your own market, like flooding your own fan base with material?
Well, being a lifelong comic collector myself, right? The thing is that we're accustomed, or I was very accustomed at one point. I do it monthly now, but I was very accustomed to weekly going to a comic book store and picking up books, right? And I was a longtime Marvel DC fan, huge independent fan, right? But picking up John Byrne's Daredevil, John Byrne's Fantastic Four, Frank Miller's Daredevil, Walter Simonson's Thor, so on and so forth, picking up the Avengers, all kinds of stuff, right? You just get used to going in every week and getting your books, right? And you're spending 30, 40, 50 bucks. And if you have a good retailer, he's giving you a discount. He's giving you 10, 20, 30% off, right? He says, you got your pull list, and boom, he says, all right, I'm gonna give you 30% off or 20% off, because he knows that revenue is there for him, right? Right now I'm dealing with a company that should be paying me for constantly marketing them, DCBS. And the books are regularly 30 to 50% off, right? So I'm able to, and I fill out the form every month and I pay for it in advance. And that's what I think it is with comics, because I've had this conversation with other publishers, and I say, look, most of us as comic people, we're conditioned to get these books every month, right? We want a monthly book, right? I don't think I could do a monthly campaign, only because the campaigns themselves physically would only have to be 10 days, 14 days, because I have to get the books back from the printer. I have to get the extras. That logistically is where I would run into problems, because I would have to run the campaign, wait 2 weeks to get paid, but not just that. Even if I send off the books when the campaign is done, I have to wait 2 weeks for my printer, and then I got to ship it, right? I got to pack it, ship it, do all that stuff. So yeah, 1 month, it's tough. It's tough. I know another group of guys, Max, and his group, they're going to try to do a campaign every month. And I was like, brah, I'm with you. I feel you.
Right. But again, that would probably require them to do every campaign is like 14 days just to make up for that schedule. Which that in and of itself, because you've experimented with that too, is like running shorter campaigns, I guess, trying to avoid the dreaded plateau period.
Oh yeah, and it's always there. No matter what you do, it's always there. This campaign, it was 24 days. The next campaign is going to be a full 30. That'll hopefully be sometime in November. Probably about the time you launch, I'll be launching too.
Right. Yeah.
So, that'll run for 30 days, because that campaign is a little bit larger. It's going to be the second volume to Passing Queens and Making Homes. I'm also going to be putting out issue 2 of If It Was a Few Inches Taller. So you can either buy them combined or separately or whatever, and I have them as add-ons. So however you want to do it. But that's going to be. I lost my train of thought.
Well, so did I. I'm trying to remember my question. What was my question, Nita?
I was posting.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, okay, so here's the thing, right? So because it just popped in my head, because of course it's like you're going to run. We're probably going to end up overlapping campaigns again. You know, so every time there's a campaign, right? Like, how much do you really put into thinking about, okay, this is what happened in this campaign. How do what do I bring over to the next campaign? How do I change the next campaign? How much navel gazing on a campaign do you do after each campaign, or even now with this one?
Well, here's the thing. You always try to bring over the things that work, right?
Right.
So those are the things you try to bring over. And then there's some things, like I've had some things work in prior campaigns that didn't work in this one. Okay, like I have very high level tiers that work very well in prior campaigns. In this one, it didn't work out so much, right? And that's fine, because you're gonna, once in a while, you're gonna catch a whale or two or three, right? And sometimes you don't, right? You can't always get them. But the only thing you can do is consistently try to put out the best work that you can put out. You know, put it out regularly, and put it out, you know, just do the best you can. Make sure you package it correctly. Make sure you get it to the hands of the people that are supporting you, their books, in as minty mint condition as you can get it to them.
Right. Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. So especially if you're yes, absolutely. Especially if you're dealing with her mail carrier that even tries.
You've seen that shit, right?
Gemini mailers. Yeah.
No, she did fold a Gemini mailer.
Yeah.
Like she took it where the fold is, and she put it on her kneecap and did this number, and like managed to bend it and slid it in the mailbox. I'm like, you bitch. Yeah.
You guys live in a house?
Mm-hmm.
She just can't leave the shit on the step?
Well, the mailbox is across the street, but it's like it's a 5-foot fucking road. It's the bitch.
Oh, it's kind of
yell at me. Throw it in my driveway even. Don't bend my shit. Like if she tossed it like a newspaper, I'd send one of my little kids out there. Go get my shit. Like, you know, like
You
no.
guys need to get like a bin out there or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a PO box is what it's coming down to, but they're expensive as fuck out here.
Oh god. I mean, you can't like add like an additional thing underneath it where they could put a
You're not allowed to adjust the mailboxes at all. Yeah.
Wow.
No.
I mean, it's like, you know, because I've seen people do that here where they have an additional.
If they get they're so weird here. If our mailboxes get hit, which they frequently do because people get drunk and we're in the country, if they get hit by a car or a baseball bat or whatever, you're not supposed to touch that shit. You have to wait for them to fix it.
Wow.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's because the boxes are all connected or what, but yeah.
So there you go. So that's one of the things too. It's like always make sure you package your stuff correctly. Don't be cheap.
Yeah, because they bent the hell out of the box the last box that I got from JD.
Yeah.
Book was fine.
Right.
But that box, you wouldn't have thought so. Because that was the first time I ever
You were worried. Yeah, you were worried that they messed up the books inside.
Nope.
You know, so
Joe's asking if the books got in safe, and yes, they did, Joe. I got them. They look fantastic. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. So here's it. So for the next campaign, what are you planning on doing differently for your next campaign compared to this one?
I'm gonna actually promote it.
Oh.
Holy shit! You're gonna do something new?
Yeah, we'll do something a little different. Yeah, but actually,
let's do it.
I'm already signing up for a bunch of different streams to get on, so I'll probably be doing it with way more. Well, because that was the thing. I mean, you know, it's funny. Like, it's difficult to gauge how these things work out, because I wanted to see on this campaign how would it go if I just relied on mailing lists. I did some Reddit ads. I didn't do YouTube. I didn't do, Facebook ads this time. But just to see, like, you know, if I just ran it with the mailing lists and crunching my prior campaigns and sending out like email blasts through all those campaigns, how would the campaign do? Right? It did okay. It didn't do great. It did okay. Right? But the key is like, you know, as time moves on, my time becomes more precious. Right? Because I have so much work to do that I actually have to focus on it, you know, whereas in the past I got so much of it, like I have a lot of it done already, but it's always, there's more stuff to letter, you know, now moving into doing other projects that I have to letter, right? So and I have to get colorists and all these other things. So you're dealing with all these different pieces, and you're like, okay, now I actually have to dedicate a little bit more time. It can't be like, an hour. I would normally do an hour a day, 2 hours a day. Like I would spend an hour writing, then there would be another hour, doing editing or whatever. Now it's turning into 2.5 hours. Now it's just going to turn into 3 hours, and then on the weekends it's like 6 or 7 hours. So I was seeing like, how can I move these campaigns and see how well it does. So the next one, I'm going to try to go on as many podcasts as I can and just see how that does. Right, I'm going to do a 30-day, and we'll see how that thing does. And pretty much that's it. I mean, as far as like different, I'm always looking for something different. I added keychains to this one. I'm doing a silver pearlescent. What is that? Silver pearlescent metal card. Well, it's not metal. It's metallic foil card. So that was the second stretch goal. So that's going to be out. If we hit the third stretch goal, which would be nice. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Doesn't happen, doesn't happen. It's everybody will get a 5x7 print. So, yeah. But yeah, as far as doing something different, we'll see.
Are there any trends in crowdfunding that you're really, really resistant in doing, but you find yourself wondering if you're kind of missing out by not doing it?
Yeah, listen, that nude Oswald cover. I'm just, you take Nita's advice. Have him take off the tie and just put the bar across his neck. So yeah, that's the one I've been definitely resisting. So.
Right.
That wasn't my only advice.
All right.
Listen, it's a good one. I kind of like. It's hilarious. It's really funny. But yeah, but there's some other things that I'm looking at. I was on Larry Higgins, the Niobe podcast last night, which was really cool. And I was talking to Tom Hutchison from Critter, and he has some good advice because he understands. It's like I told him, I said, look, I'm selling a magical mouse. I'm not selling a chick. I don't have boobies. I don't have butts. I don't have those things to rely on.
Well, Diane's hot.
Yeah, but she's not in every story. Right, she's not in every story. I have On the Wings of Deidre coming up, and that's her cousin, right? And that won't, I have a little bit more play with that one.
Cousin.
Well, she wears the jeans, cowboy boots, t-shirt, and a cigarette. That's So I have a little bit more latitude with that one. But it depends on the story. I'm not just going to put Diane on the cover because, I just need to sell something like that. I just don't, it just doesn't work well for me. So, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do some homage covers and we'll see how those work out. Thomas suggested that I try to find, do something like The Secret of Nim, and try to get that sort of fan base involved. I mean, I'm a comic guy, so I'm going to try to, I'm doing some comic covers. So I just can't help myself because I'm a glutton.
Well, I mean, it's like for somebody who knows the actual Secret of Nim fandom, it's very tiny. Right. I don't. Yeah, it's like it's probably the reason why you really don't see groups or anything like that. I mean, maybe if you try to go for a more like generalized Don Bluth / animation fandom, right. Maybe. But being that hyper specific, no. I mean, literally, I can tell you for sure we can count each other's. We have to, maybe at most we could take off our shoes and count how many people are in that specific fandom.
Right, and then also is to find the iconic images.
Right.
That would have to be, to make those on. So.
Yeah. So so when you're talking to other crowd, so you run your show on Sundays, talking comics on a Sunday because it's all in the title there. Right. So if anybody wanted to check that out, JD runs kind of like a panel show on Sundays at 7:30, right?
7:30 p.m. EST, that's Eastern Standard Time, and we tend to discuss the business of indie comics, or we try to anyway. When I'm not screaming at Rosario.
Well, yes. And Rosario is not taking championship shots on the air.
Taking championship. We're talking about pizza, so.
Yeah, exactly. So on your last show, I guess like the common theme, well, at least the common kvetch that everybody, the crowdfunder, was having at that time, and this is something that we were also seeing as well outside of that, is that people were kind of saying that it's like, yo, it's kind of rough out there. It's like they were used to, like campaigns they felt weren't performing the way they thought they should be or what they were used to and whatnot. And it wasn't just one person. It's like a lot of people are saying that. And I guess even with your campaign right now, I guess you could say that that's kind of a part of it too. But I don't know, because you kind of had a deliberate thing that you were doing to it. So for the people out there, it's like, what was your take on this general, I guess, like chatter that's going on in the crowdfunding circles right now?
It's so multi-layered, it's difficult to really come at it, because it's easy to say that, well, people have run out of their COVID money, right? People getting that extra $600 a week for, just sitting around doing nothing, and they needed stuff to buy and stuff to do to keep them entertained. So that money's kind of gone. The prices on just about everything has gone up, so people have less money, right, to spend on this sort of thing. But the hardcores are there. I have a lot of hardcore fans. A lot of them came back. Here's the funny thing, right? I have here's something I discussed with Rosario. So I have my whales that came in and they bought the big packages, right? $300 levels, all of the books and things. But the thing is, though, is once that package is purchased, that customer goes from being a $300 customer to now becoming a $30 customer, because all they need is the basic level, because they've already got everything else, right? I also have a $45 level. Is the ultimate PDF level, right? It's $45. You get about 1,000 pages worth of material in it. All right, probably about 600 or 700 of it is comics, 400 or 500 of it is prose, right? So there's a lot of material there. But here again, once that person purchases that, they become an $8 level person, because that's the basic PDF level, right? And that's fine. I just need like 1,000 of those.
Right. Well, yeah.
But like I said, so that all of it factors in it. And over the course of 20-something campaigns and making, steady money, right? Making that steady money, right? And getting all those different customers, those customers transition in and out. Once in a while, they'll say, okay, let me back, maybe they'll get a sketch cover, or maybe they'll pick up a Chrome cover or something. But, that'll be every now and again, so that's why I think it's moving. So it's just like, the more people I get in, I get them at the high end, but then they become the low end, which is fine, because they're still there. But, it's replacing them up on the top end. That's the hard part.
Well, that's why networking is so important. To keep expanding. Networking is so important to keep expanding and growing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was nice having you today.
Well, hey.
It's all right, Nita. It's okay. You'll be on my show one day.
Not with that attitude, sir.
Listen, like anything else, it goes from vinegar to honey real fast.
Let's show this off again.
Right. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, someone punked out. Wait, no. Oh,
no. Got a backer. Wow, Daphne. Jesus.
Yeah,
calm down.
I'm going to shame everybody for this. 35. No. That I thought it was at 33 at one point.
No,
it was at 32. Okay, so
calm down. Firecracker.
So yeah, we're trying to reach 35. So so no punking out at this point. Even if you were thinking of punking out, no punking out.
Daphne will get you.
She's mad about that.
Yeah, she was.
I was like, damn.
I mean, look, if there's a pet peeve that I have, I mean, it's like, this is more like, every creator has is the people who keep messing with their pledges. But it's like, look, it's not like I know why people do that. People have their reasons,
yeah.
But at the same time, it is very frustrating You know,
well, especially when you have the habitual people that fucking, when you see their name on a campaign, it's like, I don't even count that pledge in my head because it's like, there's a good chance they're going to back out. And that's probably the biggest flaw on Kickstarter. Regardless of what, they should go ahead and take the money out and fucking refund it if the campaign doesn't, if the campaign fails. Yeah, no.
Right. Yeah. So okay. So technically you gained. Okay. So there we go.
Yeah.
So
calm down, Lage. Calm down.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's tough because it's like, look, because because the thing is though, it's like listening to all these people say that's like, oh, it's like, it's so hard to, it's like, oh, what's going on and blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, and it's very easy to kind of gloat and say, well, I didn't have that problem, but now it's like I'm looking down the pipe to my next campaign, and it's like, oh, this is where it all catches up to me. And and it's like, and now it's like, okay, what do I have to do to that campaign to at least keep it even? I mean, and it's like, so it's like, so don't get cocky, everybody. if you see a little bump on your campaign, don't get cocky.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that was pointed out, recently was like, if you look at Polito's campaigns, is his backer counts, right? Is they're very consistent, but they don't go up, or they don't go up by much.
Right.
Yeah. Like he has, I don't know, 3,000-4,000.
He has a very loyal fan base, and they are there every freaking time. Just
exactly. And what he does,
he has the 1,000 true fans.
He got more than 3 or 4.
Exactly.
3,000 or 4,000 true fans.
Yeah. And they're constantly there. With us, so that gives us a lot of latitude to grow, right? So we have a lot of room to grow. So that's the thing where, I don't know how many you ended up with, 140 something backers.
I would have to look.
Right. So that's really where you need to look. Is
144.
There you go. So try to keep that number consistent, or just grow that number. You may not make as much money because you're not selling as high of a high value, high dollar amount, but you might get the same backer number.
Yeah. Because that's kind of the thing also that I have to really take in consideration. Like I kind of didn't think about it until you mentioned it. It's like, it's like this campaign made this much money because you have an expensive item. It's a trade paperback and whatnot. Right. While the next campaign is just going to be for a single issue. So we're talking about a difference.
A badass, awesome single issue. That's going to blow it out the fucking water. We're going to be positive about this the whole fucking time.
But talking numerically though, we're talking the difference between a $10 product and a $35 product.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so how do I, make that difference up on the next? Well, that too. That too. On the next campaign, and that's like something that and you had said that you had kind of done the math really quick and says you're going to need around, like, if you wanted to make the same amount of money, it's like you need like over 200 backers.
Right.
And I don't think I've hit ever. I don't think I'm even nowhere near that close to that.
Right. I mean, and that's the thing. It's always. It's like Nita said, is like, growing the circle, networking, getting in more fans. And that's basically what we all have to do, is getting those new fans. And that's always the hard part, breaking out into those new markets, getting people to recognize you, see us, and just keep growing. That's the hard part.
I mean, do you think that like too many creators, like they kind of who find themselves in this situation, it's because they depend a little too much on their friends and family to kind of carry them over, and there just comes a point where their friends and family are going, oh, we're kind of done?
Look, friends and family can only be, especially family, you can only expect them for the first 2 or 3 campaigns.
Right.
Beyond that, forget. Right, Abuela only has so much cash to be spending on you. She's only. You got to remember, you get the envelope with $50 or $100 at Christmas. That's it, bro. That's all you're getting.
But you get 50 or 100? Fuck, man.
Sorry. I mean,
God.
Yeah.
My grandmother doesn't love me.
Maybe she had too many grandkids. She had to spread the love a little bit thin. That's all. I'm sure she loved it. But you only can rely on that for so long. And then the friends, maybe they'll last 4 campaigns, maybe they'll last 5, but that's going to be it though. So beyond that, you have to have people who like your work, right? So you have to have the best art you can get, write the best stories you can, and finish them as well as you can. Get work on your lettering. What do they say? Never count your friends.
Cheap ass family didn't help him at all. I'm sorry, Chris.
Seriously, sorry, Chris. But just do the work to the highest level you can, right? Look at, especially when it comes out to lettering, look at Marvel's books. I mean, no matter how bad some of those books are as far as stories and some of the art, they typically have really good lettering.
Yeah.
Lettering
is part of the art. If you get a book that has atrocious lettering, it's hard to read.
Well, here's the thing.
It'll kill a book. Honestly, I think crappy lettering will kill a book.
I'll tell you all about when we get out of here.
But honestly, though, it's like, seriously, it's like JD ended up getting this book, and of course, I promptly stole it. But
I have to steal it back at some point.
Yeah, I know, right? So this is the Essential Guide to Comic Book Lettering by Nate Picos. And it's published by Image Comics, and it's on. You can find it on Amazon. And this book is a game changer. I swear, it's like step by step on how he does everything in there. I mean, like the special effects, the sound effects, and everything. Game changer. If you have a comic, you need to have this book, because, like I said, bad lettering. It's like you can have the most beautiful artwork, but if I can't read it, just put out an art book, bro. Why did you even bother?
Let me tell you, here's the thing with me in lettering. If I notice it, it's being done wrong.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's under $15.
Yeah. No, it's I'll put that up later.
Yeah, but if you notice the lettering, for me, something's wrong. You shouldn't really notice the lettering. The lettering's there, but you shouldn't like notice it.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, it's a staple. It's a book that everybody should have. I mean, honestly, it's like, because you all need the book. Just get the book. Even if you're not lettering, get the book anyway, so that you know what you're looking at when you do hire a letterer.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But beyond that those are the things, and fulfill on time.
Always.
Yeah.
On time. When you promise the book should be out. I know things happen and sometimes a little difficult. And I always say, add an extra month. Add an extra 2 months. What is it? Under promise.
Yeah, because we get tired of people's 3rd and 4th grandparents dying. It's like, okay, bro, okay. Like, I'm sorry for your loss, bro. Where's my shit?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, give me my money back, please.
Yeah. I mean, we
all
like. I
don't even care anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we all like to think that we're creating art, right? But in truth, when you walk into, I don't know, McDonald's, right? You go in there, you order a burger, you want it now, right? And that's just there's a certain immediacy. We know there's a little bit more time baked into this, but nobody likes waiting a year. I've waited as long as 4 years to get campaigns fulfilled, right? Yeah. I got the books; they look great. I didn't even remember I had ordered it.
Right.
but
I got it. Surprised when you got it, like, oh wow, yay, this is finally here. You're like, these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because that was my response this last time. Like, I recently just got a book that we've been waiting on for over a year. That was that had a set date, and then they failed to update it. Also, if you're going to be late, update your Kickstarter. Keep your backers informed. Don't be a dick and ghost people.
Yeah.
But they failed to update regularly or whatever. I got the book and I was like, man, fuck this guy. And
Yeah. I mean, my bigger issue than that is because the thing is like, you can get that book and it's 4 years late, and that book could be fantastic. And at that point, I could forgive a lot. I could forgive a great deal. I could get a book that's on time and it's not very good, and that is way more difficult for me to forgive.
So there you. So I guess on that note, we're already past the top of the hour. So so there you go. So do a good book, and all will be forgiven.
Yes, I mean, it's that's the best way. Do the best work you can. Sometimes it takes a little, but communicate that. Always communicate that to your friends. Just let them know and say, hey, listen, it's taking me a little bit longer. Things happen, whatever. We all get it. Life is moving. We got other things to do. But just communicate those things to your fans. Let them know it's coming. If you can put up a page or two, that's great, because that alleviates everybody's nerves. They like to see the art. Then things, and then on the next campaign, hopefully they'll forgive you and give you even more money, right?
Oh, well, yeah, that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
Right. So on that note, so we have the Oswald Chronicles. It's ending in about 45 minutes?
25 minutes.
25 minutes.
24 minutes.
Yeah, so you have 24 minutes to
minutes,
support the Oswald Chronicles. Link in the show notes and in the chat as well. But tell the peoples where they can find you outside of Kickstarter.
You can find me on the OswaldChronicles.com, TallTalesOnline.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, DeviantArt, or the DV Calderon.
Right.
Oh yes, and DreamWeaverPress.com. That's all.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all there. So like I said, links are in the show notes.
They
so
will be.
Nita, you have any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Right,
I'm good. I never have thoughts, Daphne.
Right.
I'm still tripping on you flipping out.
Well, look,
Like,
we got to keep everybody in line. We got to keep everybody in
down.
line. That's the thing. Look, it's the end of the month. It's the end of the month. It's like we're moving into October, and I'm not thrilled with that. So
We're not having it.
We're not having it. Yeah. Before we know it, it's 2023.
Jeez.
Not liking it at
This
all.
is true.
Yeah. So where can the peoples find you, Nita?
What about him?
He did already.
Oh God, Jesus! See, I told you I didn't have a thought.
Right.
You can find me obviously here with Daphne Monday and Fridays. You can find me on Twitter at @C_K Linktree Ragin. There, right, yeah. That's
there
it.
We go.
Everything, yeah. I don't have my script.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. So and also if you want to learn more about me, my art, and all that other fun stuff, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And remember that you can check out all my videos on how I do my work on YouTube at my channel, Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, thumbs up, the whole thing, everything that makes the algorithm happy, and share out everything. And also so that you get notified whenever we go live. Did I just say that? Maybe. I'm going to need one of JD's championship shots. Let's not do that.
That's JD Rosario.
Yeah, it's JD Rosario's, yes.
Yeah. He was taking a shot for every $100 he made.
Right, yes, and he had a rough time yesterday.
I think it took about 10 11 shots by the time by the end of it. Yeah.
So,
wow.
Rosario, like I said, he's also on Kickstarter with his project, Vicky Sticks, which you can also check out. It'll be somewhere.
It'll be in the group in just a little bit, and we'll have him on the 24th.
Right. So here we are at the end of another week. I'm exhausted. And so thank you so much for everybody joining us. Thanks everybody who joined us in the chat. Thank you for the people who joined us from regions beyond. That number fluctuates a bit. We're at 6 right now, but thank you so much for everybody who joined in during the show. Somebody has to keep an eye on us. So on that note, we'll see everybody again on Monday at 11 a.m. And do we have anybody scheduled for Monday? What do we have on Monday?
We're moving on.
Oh, okay. So there you go. So yes, we're climbing that mountain. We're seeing the old man on the top of the mountain. And, old man on the mountain, what advice would you give to the peoples? And he goes, easy, eat your food. moisturize, mind your business and do the work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. So that's it for me, Nita. What about you?
Oh, on that note, we'll see you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.